But this is basically a flow regulator. In the green, it limits this to 40 psi. So anything in the red could blow those PEX pipe lines in an RV. So you don't really want to hook it up straight to a hose most of the time. And if you do, it'd be short periods. And you might need to leave some water dripping or something like that. But I see this is dripping. I probably need a new washer inside of the threaded area. So, but just wanted to point that out. So I'm under the stairs here behind what would be the passenger side wheel. Up here is your water pump for the RV. When you're winterizing this, I stuffed this insulation up here and everything, but there is a valve right back here that's left at a 45. We're gonna go ahead and turn it open, and that is with the pipe. So where that nozzle or that handle runs with the pipe, it's on. So this is a 45 that lets air through. If it's at a T like this, that's off. If you turn it with the pipe, that means it'll let water run through. So when you're winterizing this, that valve sucks water from your portable water tank that you fill up. So if you're wanting to use that, then you would turn this on and this one off. So that's off, that one's on. We're gonna suck water out of the back tank, out of that water tank, if you don't have access to a freshwater hose. To winterize this, you turn that one off, this one on, and then you pull this little clear hose down and you would put it into the pink RV antifreeze, and it would suck it up this tube all the way in. You'd turn all of the faucets on, hot water and cold water, until you see pink out of each of them, and then you shut them off. And then you just come back and put both of these at a 45-degree angle, and you'd be, all of your water lines would be fully winterized that way. And then I just put this insulation back to the front and back of this pump. And I didn't have a door manufactured, couldn't think of a really good way, but putting this like 4-inch thick memory foam up in there from side to side has worked really well. Doesn't fall out and no critters get in there because it just expands. So I haven't had anything get in there yet. Okay, that's that. So we were just under here getting those valves situationed. These ones, you can see this is red, this is a hot water drain, this is a cold water drain. Most campers just have a little plug on the end. Well, it was a lot faster for me. One of them froze and started leaking, so in order to make sure that these got RV antifreeze in them too, we can turn these on when that pump's on and get all that until this comes out pink. Right now I'm testing it for the spring, so it's going to shoot clear water, but there's the pink from last winter. It's the RV antifreeze coming out, and then it'll turn clear. I'll do the same with the cold water. All right, now we're unwinterized. This is the hot water heater. When you are winterizing it, you'll pull this plug, and I'm about to show you the back side of the water heater but you can bypass it by turning a couple valves like we did underneath. So you can bypass and shut the water heater off and drain it separately for the winter. So you would take this drain plug out and let it drain completely, and drain the lines out with this guy here. So this is your water heater closet. Nothing to write home about. So you can see that this valve is closed for the winter, and this valve is closed for the winter. So this is cold water in, and then it would pump hot water out. But I've got it bypassed right here, so the cold water is just going back to cold water and out. And that's all there really is to that. So nothing's going in and nothing's coming out. It just goes back into the lines and recirculates over here. But that's what makes that possible, is that little bypass. So what I'm gonna do to force air into the hot water heater, or force water into the hot water heater, I'm gonna open this cold. You can hear it. And I'll open the hot to let the air out so it can fill up. Open that top one fully and the bottom one fully. Now I'm gonna shut the middle one off so that it comes through there. In order for that to fill up though, I've got to have a hot water line open somewhere, or I can open this up. So you got a hot water line here, or the faucet inside. This is just air escaping from the hot water heater, and it's gonna fill up. So I'm gonna leave that at a 45. You can still hear air escaping. So when this starts shooting water out again, that means the hot water heater is full. Okay. There it is. I'll get all the air out. There we go. So now we know hot water heater's ready to go. That's dry, there's no drips, so I know I've got the plug tight enough. We're going to turn the gas on. I've already tested the stove. But I'm gonna test the hot water heater. So this is a dual tank system. Basically I use this one. We can hook it up too. And I've got these regulators so you can tell how much gas you have. So, but this one I just use, I'll take it out and I'll fill the gas on my little cast iron griddle. I'll fill those little bottles with that, or you could just get a line, an adapter, and hook from this to the grill itself. But for now, this will refill my little bottles. And then the hot water tank would run off of this or the stove. And so you just turn this on, and then this little valve here is gonna show, it'll go from red to green to let you know that gas is going into the line. Okay, so it's got pressure. So I've turned this on and I can't get back in there, but I'm in the green. To get to the hot water heater door, you gotta move the pole to the awning here, and it's just got a little flip back here, and it'll let that out. To let it down, you just unscrew this and lift this locking lever, and that'll let the leg out. So now that's touching the ground. And then you can open this. This has an automatic lighting button inside. So you have to have your electricity on, of course. We'll come inside here. And it's right by the sink. So when this is on, it's trying to light the hot water heater. It's going to take a little bit. To get the gas, the fresh gas, all the way through the line, but it'll try a series of times, and if it doesn't get it, then you have to go flip the button again. So we'll flip the button again. You hear it? Okay. So now it's a smooth whooshing sound. So we are lit. And when that runs for quite a while, you'll have that LP gas exhaust smell, but once that tank gets hot, and it just comes on for a few seconds at a time to keep the tank hot, you don't get that, so that'll go away. Okay, since that's lit, I'm gonna go ahead, shut this back. Next, we'll take out the awning. See if we can take this awning out. Just need a little pull. And we're gonna flip this. Ooh, can you see that? We're gonna flip this little trigger back right up here. Okay. Then we should be able to just grab this guy. Actually, we'll loosen these wheels on either side first. These tracks, there's a little black clip in here. You want to make sure that that's mobile or loose. Make sure that this one's open and loose, okay? Now, you can pull this out. Until you see the flap. Okay, now that's auto lock. If you want to roll it back up, you push that tab back the other way. And then when you pull on that, it'll click and release and roll back up. So we're gonna let this dry out. But basically for this, you'll take each of these. This little wheel is kind of your extender lock. You slide this one in the track all the way up the top, and then you just cinch this down. Same with this side. You hear that hot water heating up? Slide that all the way up. I need to get another locking mechanism over there. So that's up, and then this gets tightened. Then to raise it up is where you use this locking deal here. It locks into these C channels, and don't use the whole weight with just the handle. Go ahead and pull with your hand, and we'll come up about halfway on this side, so we're not putting too much pitch on the tarp. So you can see we came up quite a bit. Basically, you want to get up to where the door is not going to hit the canopy when it comes open. So some of the doors have a little wheel on top so that it would roll the canopy out of the way, but that'll ruin a canopy pretty quick. So we got this one. I'm going to come up twice as high as we did the last one. That one we did about halfway. This one we can do to the full finished height we want, and then we go raise that one up. So past these little holes, I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I'm on the 10th with my lock. So I'm at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7, 8. I'm 1 higher on this side, but all that means is that the water is going to drain that direction, which is fine. And then when you open up the door, we are well enough away from the top. And this is a brand new canopy. It was just installed last year, so you do want to open them and let them dry out here and there so they don't get mildew. So there's the canopy, and then this guy here, I put the orange strap on it. You can slide it over, and you can just wrap it around this pole, and then it's bright orange and nobody hits their head on the pole. You can let these go from the latch from the side of the trailer like we did on the water heater, and you could adjust this height and stand it out in the ground and then stake it in on both sides if you wanted to have a pole rather than have it depend on the camper for stability, but that's up to you. You can kind of turn it into more of a mini carport that way, but to each his own. I've never done that. I've just left it hooked up to the camper. But right now, if I did need to get to the water heater and I wanted the door to open more than it does now, I could just unhook that leg and stand it on the ground. So there's your canopy. Well, come on inside. Now the hot water line might have some air in it since we filled the hot water heater. We're just gonna let it run a little bit. Pretty seamless. Oh, a little bit of air. Not much at all. When you do turn these on for the first time, you're gonna wanna take some of that Red X and put a packet in one of the sinks and put a packet in the toilet and run some water so that both of your tanks get deodorized. A lot of people forget about the gray water tank, and then you can get you can get those gases coming back up through the traps as well. So don't forget about that. This is the little outdoor shower. Usually I just do dishes with it, but it still has RV antifreeze in it as well, so it's gonna blow out some nasty. Turn it on. Not bad. I already got it out of the sink inside, so this literally connects underneath the bathroom sink, so it didn't have very much in there. All right. And then we'll just put it back, wrap it up. So this camper does have central heat and air. The heat runs off of the propane gas, just like the water heater. The heat comes out of floor vents like this. We got it to cool, low, on, and let's get some AC. And it will get very cold. There's your AC. That's where you change your air filter, the main parts on top. And you can get nice, cool air. It's got 2 vents above the bed here, so each person gets a vent. And then we've got 2 vents in this area and 1 vent in the bathroom. Your microwave is fully operational, of course. You got your dual sink, and the stove works as well, both the top and the oven. And then they have this spark to light features, burner. Woohoo! Ooh, that's hot. Turn it down. That back corner. There you go. Turn it down, front. There it is. So hot. We gotta turn those off. Alright, I just wanted to show they work. The oven is the same way. Got a little oven. Alright. Refrigerator works really well. Clean. And all you have to do to turn that on is you can run it on gas or electric, and you just have it on auto. So I could turn it on and just have it on auto. So if the electricity goes out, it's gonna just switch over to gas. But I don't want it on gas anyway, so don't need it on right now. It does take a couple hours to cool down. For the camper cools down pretty quick. The freezer and everything needs a couple hours before you stick food in it, but it's perfect. Here in the bathroom, you got your standard vent with the exhaust fan. It's got brand new weather stripping around the vents, both of them. So under the microwave on the fume hood here, of course we've got the light and a fan that blows outside, and it's right above where the electricity plugs in and the water hose hooks up. But the fan does work, just sucks any of the fumes and cooking and stuff out there. But you have here's your water pump if you're trying to pump out of the out of the potable water tank. I'm going to turn the air conditioner off just so you can hear that pump kick on. And it is kind of an at-will pressure pump, so you can leave this in the on position. Right now it's not going to shut off because it won't pressure up because I don't have water in the tank. But catching the video or not, I don't know if you can hear that. So if you didn't have a water hose hooked up and you did have that 30 or 35 gallons of fresh water in the tank, then it would pressure up, no faucets on, and then it would turn off, and then you turn the faucet on, and since that alleviates some pressure, in order to sustain pressure, it'll kick back on. So you flush the toilet in the middle of the night, or you run the sink, or you brush your teeth, it's gonna have this humming noise right under the stairs there where the last video was. So when you hit this test button, it's going to tell you how much is in hold tank 2, hold tank 1, and then how much fresh water you have. These can give a little bit of false readings if the sensor is stuck in one position. So I would expect that our gray water might have some in there since we've been running out the water and testing things out. So I'll test that. So it says hold tank 1, and it's going to be probably your gray. I just dropped down. That was the same before we ran any water. So I'm getting the exact same readings. It's reading that there's a little bit in the fresh water tank, even though it's completely empty. So just know that these are an approximation. But it says battery condition good. It's just reading the because we're plugged into electric. But this is your tanks here, and then outside your fresh water tank that it's talking about is right here. And before you ever use that, you want to put in some, sanitize it. You can use bleach, or you can a little bit of bleach in a lot of water to sanitize this each year before you use it. But you just take this off and you can put a hose in here. It's got a vent. I usually leave an air gap and fill it a little bit at a time. But that's your fresh water tank. And you can flush it out faster since I put these valves on here when you're sanitizing. So you can just come up here and fill it up, and after the hold time, you have to look up a recipe. I don't remember it off the top of my head, but after the hold time is over, you can flush all that out in here. This is just the back side of the refrigerator. You can turn these sideways and open up this panel to get to where the gas system is used to cool the refrigeration unit, but that's all that's under there. This is where the stove vents out. You have these little flaps. You can put those in the up position. Then the air will leave the camper. I can already feel some cold air coming through because there's the draft. But when you're driving, you want to slide these down and lock it into place. Otherwise it'll just sit there and flap. And also wasps will get up in there if you don't shut it and keep it closed. So that's why I put a new vent in, is keep the bugs out. It does have a screen inside. They can't get into the camper that way, but it doesn't stop them from trying to build a nest. And this is it says body waste and liquid waste, but basically we have valves underneath here. Let's see if we can get under there. So you hook your sewer hose to this. This is the body waste. So this is your black water. So black water, you always empty it first. And the reason is that's when you're at a sewer docking station. Then you rinse the hose with the cleaner, which would be dishwater or bath water. That's known as your gray water. So this is liquid, that's your gray water, and your black water, but it hooks onto the same hose that you would dump out into. So